Yeah, good morning, everyone. Hope I'm audible and everyone could able to see my screen here. Am I audible and you could see my screen, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So, yes, guys, I mean, if you're not talking, please go into mute. Okay. Yeah. So, where are we, guys? I think in the last class, we are looking into the some new predefined tags like anchor tag. We have seen the image tag. How do you create a link to an external web page? We have seen, and how do we include an external image into the current page? That's what we have seen. I think we are in between the absolute path and relative path discussion. That is what it is about. It is going in between. I left over with. So today we'll discuss about the absolute path and relative path. But before that, let us talk something about the CSS float property. And after that, I'll be talking about the absolute and relative path. And after that, today, I'm going to help you in understanding the server setup in your local machine. So you might be confusing like why the reason we are coming into the server now, because we haven't done with anything on the UI. But there is a specific reason for that. So I'll be discussing with that today. Okay. So coming to the CSS float property. Okay. And before coming to the CSS float property, hope you guys are very much clear on what do you mean by a block level element and what do you mean by an inline element, and what are the default properties a block level element is going to come, and same with the inline element also. Okay. So today we are going to talk something about the CSS float property. So let's have a look on that. So I say this is property.html. I say demonstrating CSS float property. Okay. So before that, let me create some new some elements like this. I say do some class equal to say some block one. Okay. Where I will be saying something called as this as block one content. Okay. I say some style attribute. Hope everyone is so clear. How do we define the classes, etc. and all, right? So I say some block one. I want to give some border, 1 pixel, solid, and I say has CCC. So first of all, can I control the width and height of a div element? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Can you tell me the
Yes,
reason
sir.
how why we could able to control the dimensions of a div element?
It's a block level.
It is a block level element.
Element, block level element, we could able to control the dimensions of the element, right? So I say something called as 150 pixel. Save this guy. Let me say some background of hash or something called as yellow. Save this guy. Now I'm running this guy in the browser. This is how I got a simple content container, yellow container. Under this, I have a content. Now, if at all, we have already seen something called as text align center. Text align is the CSS property using which we could able to control the content inside the container. Okay, say for example, this guy is 250 pixel. We know that by default, the content will be coming on the left top corner. Content is this content. Now, if at all you want to align the content, there is something called as text align center. Now, if you come back here and reload the page, it automatically comes to the center of the container. So either you can make it to the center or to the right side. If I say right, it will be moving to the complete right side. Or you can even make it to the text align as left. Now, if you save this, come back here, reload the page, this is how it is. Okay, so text align is the CSS property which is capable of taking three possible values. You can say left or right or center. So the text align property only works horizontally, not vertically. In order to make it vertically, we have a different CSS properties, but right now we are only working on the horizontal property, that is where text align works. Okay, so right now I want to make it as a text align center. Save this guy, come back here and reload the page. Okay, let me control the width and height of it. Let me make it something called as 150 pixel. Okay, save this guy, come back here and reload the page. So this is how it is getting shown. So any questions until here? I know this part we have already seen, but just to ask you, like, if there is any
Sir, Satyanarayana has a doubt that can we set it as vertically center?
I answered this question already. Text align is the only CSS property which only works with the horizontal. For vertical, we have a different CSS property. We'll talk about that later. Okay.
And sir, downside the capital B and upper side you have written a small b.
This is the class name and this is the content, right? The content could be anything. It is not mandatory that you need to only go with this, right? You can have anything.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is a content. I just made it as block one. You can give anything more. Any more questions?
Sir, hello.
Sir, can you make?
So can we put class name as a capital starting from capital letter or it's gets sensitive?
We already discussed about that. Say, for example, here I'm saying something called as B here. Now, if you come back and reload the page, that is not getting applied. CSS classes are case sensitive. Now, if at all you want to get applied, now you can make use of B here. Now, if you come back and reload like this, HTML is not is a non-case sensitive, but coming to the CSS, it is. At least the class names and IDs and etc.
Hello, sir.
Sir,
Text
can
align
you
equal
make
to
that-
justify.
Text align-
Justify. Justify, sir.
Okay, why you want to make it as justify?
I don't know, but
Okay.
What
Now,
is justify?
reload the page.
What is justify?
To justify and align content, those all we will be talking about them when we actually go to the display grid or display flex items. Currently, I'm only talking about the text align, which is having the possible values like left, right, and center. Any questions on
Sir,
only?
Sir, you are making that in the center, but why don't you make that in the middle of that box?
Guys, hope you are understanding what I'm saying. I clearly mentioned that, right? Text align is the property which only works horizontal, not on vertical. So we could able to make it as vertical. That's it. Sorry. If you want to make it as vertical, there are different properties. So for making it horizontal, only left, right, center is the only possible ways. We'll go for the next step. Like as someone is saying justify, there are something called as flex items and grid items, using which you can even make the content also to be center of the container, both vertically and horizontally. Currently, I'm not talking about this.
Okay, sir.
That's clear. Okay. So the next part is I simply created a container. Now I would like to say another element here, something like the block 2. Okay, let me make it. It is recommended to have the class name start with only the small letter. Guys, if you're not talking, please go into mute. Recommended to have the class name. Say block 2, block 1. So recommended to have the class name starts with always the small letter. Now, if you save this, now what is my expectation is I have the block 1 and I have the block 2, almost the same width and height, same properties. Okay, and I would like to remove this and background something called as blue. Now, if you save this guy, come back here, reload the page. This is how I have the block 2 here. Let me change the content. Instead of block 1, I make it as block 2. Save this guy, come back here, reload the page. I created simple containers, which is having the same dimension, same border, etc. stuff. At only change what you see is the color, the background color. So if you clearly look into this classes, boss, am I not unnecessarily rewriting the piece of code other than the background color? Now, if you remove this background color property, other than that, every other property is going to be the same. isn't it? If you clearly look into these guys, both are having the same properties, but the only thing is black background color is the one which is changing. So how do I solve this? How do I avoid the duplication or redundancy? So there are two ways, guys. Let's have a look. The very first one is whenever you see multiple classes are having the same properties, try to take out the common properties and create a separate class out of it. Repeating again, whenever you see multiple classes having this common set of properties, take out the common properties and define them as a separate class. Now, what I say is, I say something called dot some container. Okay. Now, what I do, what are the common properties? I'm going to take out these common properties. I'm going to keep them inside the container. Now, I'm not going to give any common properties for this time. As simple as this. Now, what I'm doing now, I have a container having the border with height and text align, whereas the block 1 means a yellow color, block 2 means a blue color. Now, what I'm going to do, I will take this class using a single class attribute. We can apply single or multiple classes here. Now, I simply give space container, simply give space container. So further development, not only a single class, we are adding multiple classes to that guy. Right now, I have added 2, but you can add any number of classes. Simply class 1 space, class 2 space. Space is the separator between the classes. Okay, it's not comma, but it is space. You can have any number of classes for a single DOM element. Now I can call them as a DOM element because it is participating within the DOM structure. Now, if you save this guy, come back here, reload the page. The look and feel is not changing because the advantage what I'm getting as a developer is I'm not writing the redundancy code here. This is one way. One way is take out the common properties, create a separate class out of it. The other way what I have is I can simply say dot block 1 comma dot block 2. Okay, so what do you mean by this guy? I am defining the properties for multiple classes at a time. I am saying that block 1 comma block 2 are having these properties. So both the elements will be having these properties. And I'm saying for the block 1 individually, you have a yellow color. Block 2, you have individually the blue color. The advantage what you have is you're not even wasting the memory by taking a separate class name. Using the same block 1, block 2, you're defining common properties for both of this. Okay. And here, whenever you're saying this block 1 comma block 2, not only the class names, you say, I can even say something called as h3 comma hash ABC. What do you mean by this? Any element having class called as block 1 or any element having class called as block 2 or any tag having tag name called as h3 or any element having ID called as ABC. Okay, so for all of them, you will be having the common properties. I mean, this is just an example I just added. You can even do that. So this is how you could able to minify the CSS code. It is always recommended, try to avoid the redundancy or the duplication when you are writing the CSS properties. Okay, so now if you save this guy, come back here, reload the page. See, I have the same look and feel. So it doesn't matter whether you go with a separate class name with the common properties or you define the common properties using this guy, it will be the same type of look and feel. Look and feel is not going to change. The only advantage is you are saving the memory, not wasting the time, memory by rewriting the piece of code. Okay. So someone asking a question like, what is the preferred way? It's all depends again. Now I say that, boss, I have another container which is having these properties. Now what I'll do, recommended that you create a separate class. Now I know that only block 1 and block 2 are using these properties. So why the reason unnecessarily I need to create a separate class name with a common property? Again, I need to take the class name and add it to the elements. So instead of this, it is mostly recommended. So it all depends upon the situation and the current situation. What the way you have to use, you can simply go with that. Okay. So any questions here, guys? Anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Pavani, go ahead.
You declare in the D class, you first of all read that in class, there are two blocks, means block 1 and the container block. So is there any difference is given that which class we have to call? No, any class we can write in multi classes. Whenever the calling multi
Yeah.
classes.
We can use any classes, right? As per your requirement, we can use any of the.
No, I am asking. First you wrote block 1, after that you wrote by giving space another container. So is there any difference that first you have to write container, after that you have to write block 1?
That's it. There is no priority order. Ma'am, can you please go into mute? There is disturbance. Okay. So that's a good question, actually. So what she's saying is, boss, earlier you are actually creating something called as some container space block 1. So do you see any difference? I mean, if I make a block 1 space container, does it make difference? No. When it is no, when there are different properties here. Okay. When there are different properties. Okay. Let me create a simple example. I say dot abc, okay, background, something called as blue. Try to understand this, guys. And I have something called as dot pqr, something called as border, 3 pixel solid. Okay. Now if you come back here at the bottom, I'm creating some div tag, okay, having a class called as abc space pqr. Now I say some content, save this guy, come back here. Now this guy has got the blue background and the border also it is coming. Super fine. Now what she's saying, if I change the order, instead of ABC PQR, I make PQR space ABC, save this guy, reload the page. Do you see any difference, boss? Obviously no. Okay. But now when it is going to show the difference, say for example, here the background is blue, but here the background is something called as red color. Okay. I gave PQR space ABC. Now let us reload the page. What is the background it is coming, boss? Red color. So here the order. Now instead of PQR ABC, I say ABC space PQR. Now if you reload the page, PQR space ABC space PQR we are giving. Now ABC is, why always it is red, it is taking. If you come back and reload the page, okay, now it is red color. Now I say PQR space ABC. Come back and reload the page. Come on. Now
Sir, it isn't changing because you are putting the recent color as red, no? Background color. Is it because of that? In dot PQR.
dot PQR I have given as that ABC. Okay, 1 second, let me check this. Now if you see, when I go for this, the priority is given for the red here. Now when I remove the red, blue is the one which is coming. But now what I'm saying is, if you take out this ABC guy, and if I put this guy, okay, so now if you see here, still it is red color. So when the difference is going to happen, whenever these guy comes up, okay, if this order is changing, now if you come back and reload the page, now the blue guy is coming. So the order what you add to the container is not going to be varied. The order you are going to define the classes, that is what it is going to vary. Now if you see PQR has been defined earlier, following with ABC. So ABC is taking higher priority because initially I'll take PQR. Later ABC is actually overriding it. Now if I put the PQR at the bottom, now red is going to take the higher priority. Did I answer your question, Pavani? Yes or no, Pavani?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got
Yeah,
it.
that's a good question. Okay, so any more questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please go ahead. Pavani,
Can you
please go
repeat
ahead?
this?
Yes, sir. I'm
Sorry, Shreyas, what was that?
Sir, can you repeat this ABC PQR point once?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I'm saying is, what is her question was, when I'm actually adding the order, here I'm using something called as PQR and I'm ABC I'm using. Two classes I'm defining. One guy is having the background as blue. One guy is having the background as red. Now, which one has to be applied? Obviously, because both are classes having the same priority order. So which one I'm going to apply? I always go with the red. Why the reason? Which was being defined in the recent. Earlier, ABC was there, following with PQR. So this is the one which will be taking the priority in order. Now, if I take out these guys and I put it over here, the order is, first of all, I got red color. Later, I got blue color. So red is going to replace it with the blue. So the guy who is being defined in the recent will always take the priority. Okay. So yeah, that's a good question anyway. So just moving this again. Let's come back to our normal discussion. So this is what we were creating here. We have created two of the containers. One is the yellow guy, and maybe yellow is not looking much good. Let me make it the yellow as something called as some, not the gray, green yellow. Okay, come back here, reload the page. Okay, this is how I have two of the blocks. Super fine. Now, you tell me by default how the elements get rendered on the page. Is it not top to bottom over here? Yes or no, guys? By default, how the elements get
Yes,
rendered?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now I have block 1. After that, I have block 2. Now you add on something else. It will be coming after the block 2. If it is inline, they follow the same line direction. If it is a block level, they come to from top to bottom approach. Super fine. But now my expectation, now my requirement, what I'm saying is, can I make this blue guy to the complete right side of the container? Can I make the blue guy container to be moved to the complete right side of the container? So that is where you have a CSS property, something called a float property. Float is one of the CSS property which is going to take only two possible values. Either you can say left or either you can say right. Float is the CSS property using which you can actually change the default rendering direction either to the left side or to the right side of the container. I'm not saying as a page. Page is different, container is different, guys. So what is the difference here? Now, when I say, for example, can you tell me what is the container of block 2? What is the container for block 2? On what container block 2 is getting rendered? Come on. One container, block 2 is getting rendered. I'm not asking background of block 2. Is it body is my background? Is it not body is my container?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Body, right? Now I say something called as a div tag. X. Like this. Now I say some class equal to test. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the container of block 2? Is it is test container or
Text container.
test? Okay. So this is what the difference between the container and the page. When I say page, it is the body tag. When I say container, my parent element space, whatever you have, that is what we call it as a container. Okay. Now what I'm saying is, using the float property, either you can make the element to the complete left side or right side of the complete container. Whatever the container we are using, for that it is going to make it either to the left side or to the right side. Okay. So how I'm going to make it? Say, for example, I'm only adding for block 2. Only for block 2, I'm doing the changes. So clearly observe it, guys. Whenever you feel question, please stop me. Now I say float property. I say something called as right property. Save this guy. Now if you come back to the browser, now when I'm reloading the page, do you see the blue guy is completely going to the right side of the particular row? Yes. Doesn't matter whatever the dimensions you go for, minimize, maximize the screen, whatever it is, I will automatically move to the right side of the particular container. My container is the body tag. So I'm completely going to the right side of the body tag. As simple as this. Any questions still here? Only the things what I have discussed. No questions?
So eventually you can also move it just spaces ahead towards the right or two spaces ahead towards the left.
Yes. We have that also. But for now, it is only for the right and left. Eventually, if you want to say that, no boss, from the left side, I want only 10 pixel. From the right side, I want only 20 pixel. That's a different part. We have positions and we have margins and padding that we can do.
Okay.
Next, any more questions on the things only what I have discussed?
No, sir.
Good. Okay. So now coming to this, the next part of the floating property is, you may ask me a question, boss, why you are giving floating left? Because if I say, for example, this guy, float left, I'm giving, save this guy, come back and reload the page. It is running on the same container, right? Why you are making as a float left there? What is the reason? By default, anyway, it occupies on the left direction only. So why you're giving? So there is a use of it. There is a meaning for that. I will come to that. For now, I'm removing this float left property, reload the page. It's having the same type of look and feel. Okay. Now what I do is, I go for another block, something called as block 3. I'm giving a class called as block 3. Coming back to the page here, I am simply saying comma dot block 3 here. So 1, 2, 3 are having the same properties, whereas dot block 3 is going to have the background property as say, for example, sky blue. Okay, save this guy, reload the page. This is how you have 3 elements. Okay. For the block 3, I'm going to say float right. Obviously, it is on the complete right side. It has to get rendered. Reload the page. Obviously, it is coming super fine. Now I say the block 2. Guys, this is a bit of confusion part. Put some extra attention here. For the block 2, I'm saying that float right again. You tell me where the green guy has to come now. Now, when I'm reloading the page, where the green guy will come, block 1 will come, same position or is it
Same position.
block same position or it will go to the right side?
Maybe
Right side.
Go to the right
probably
side.
block 3,
To
sir.
go to the right side because we have made it as float right. Coming to
Sir.
the light blue guy, is it his left side or the right side of the container?
Right blue side, sir.
Sir, left
Because we
side.
made it as a float right. Now you tell me, block 2 and block 3, does it need to be on the same line or different
No.
line?
Different.
Different line, because both are in the 3 different lines, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Different
Now
lines.
once you reload the page, you see the difference. What the hell was that? Why the block 2 and block 3 falling under the same line? Because those are block level elements, they generally have to come into the new line. Why the reason they are falling under the same line? So that is where a bit of logic you have inside your floating element here. So what your float element says is, whenever you have multiple elements or multiple continuous elements changing their default direction using the floating property, they all fall under same line, irrelevant of whether they are inline or block level. Practical example I'll tell you, then again I will tell this definition, you'll understand better. Let's take a practical example, guys. Say for example, you are standing before a line.
If you put explicitly left for all the blocks, so there won't be any issue, right?
No, that is also it is going to be changed into the same line. I'll show it. Say for example, these guy also the float left. This guy is also the float left, and this guy is also the float left. Now, if you see here, reload the page. This is where the question mark you're going to get. Boss, what is happening? Right? Let me answer this, then you'll understand more better. Okay. So what I'm saying is, yeah, let's take a practical example, guys. Assume there is a big line, a straight line of people standing before an ATM. 10 people are standing before an ATM. The line is very much straight. The 11th guy, I mean, you can close your eyes and you can think of it physically, actually. So the 11th guy is coming over here. Instead of standing straight, he bended a bit in curve. Okay, instead of standing in straight, he bended a bit of curve. Now you tell me, the 12th guy, does he need to follow the 11th guy or the 10th guy? Does he generally
11th.
follow the 11th guy or the
11th
10th
guy,
guy?
11th.
11th.
Obviously the 11th
11th.
guy. Now the people following him, obviously they will continue with the curve itself. The same thing is going to happen inside your floating property. So what float says is multiple elements, continuous element I am saying. Continuous elements implies one after another. Now I say block 1 is there, block 2 is there, block 3 is there. When block 2 and 3 are changing the floating property, doesn't matter whether it is left property or right property, irrelevant. If continuous elements are changing the float property, they always fall under the same line. Now, if you see, for example, when I say float right, okay, both are falling under the same line. Now, what if I say the block 2 as a left guy? Now, if you see here, are they following a new line? No, boss, still they are into the same line. Why so? The direction is different, right? But still, both are continuous DOM element. 2 and 3 are next to each other. And they are changing their default rendering direction. Default rendering is top to bottom, but they have changed it using the float property. So when the continuous elements are changing the direction, they will be falling under the same line. Right now, it is not going to check whether it is a block level or an inline. As they are continuous element, they are changing the floating direction. You have to fall under the same line, as simple as it is. Am I clear? Okay.
Sir,
Now,
if we will do
your voice is not clear. Can you please make it louder? Prayas, your voice is very, very low.
sir, if to the block 1 we do float is to left and to the block 2 we do right, so they will come in the same line.
Guys, anyone else understanding or I have a problem?
No, sir, can't understand.
Sir, he's saying if block 1 is left, then what is going to happen?
Sorry, ma'am. Block 1 is left and?
Block 2 is also left. Then what happens, he's asking.
Okay, let's have a look of them. Then when I say float left, now if you come back here, reload the page, what is happening? Why the all the three are into the same line?
Because all the three
Following
blocks are
block.
changing.
We
their
are
properties.
continuous DOM elements. All the three have changed their floating direction to either left or right. Doesn't matter whatever it is, but they all fall under the same line until and unless you have the enough space. If the space is now, say for example, there are 100 elements. All the 100 elements are changing the floating property. But now I cannot render them or I cannot accommodate them in the same line. So they automatically come to the new line based on the space what I have. If the space is enough, they all fall under the same line. Left guys will be on the left side, right guys will be on the right side. Only if it is continuous element guys. Now, if you see, if you ask me a question here, block 1 is not float. Okay. Now I am reloading the page. Why the block 1 is not getting into the same line? Because block 1 is a normal element. He's not changing the floating property. So yes, that was your question and hope you understood that?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, nice. So guys, wherever you feel a problem, please let me know. Hope everyone is clear.
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. So until we specify that float left or right or whatever it is, they will not change the property of the block level elements, right? They'll follow the same thing.
Yes, they follow the default rendering model. Until unless you apply the float, then only they are changing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, one more thing. You're asking the question, you don't need to take a permission. Sir, can I put the question or not? Just simply put the questions, guys, because again, I need to say yes. Again, you put the question. So not to waste the time, just to go ahead and put in the questions. That's it. Yeah, go ahead. Someone is asking a question.
If you put float left and then right and then left, I mean, alternately, if you give left and right, there won't be any alignment issue, right? Because we are not continuously.
No, they are still continuous elements, right? If you see here, I'm not saying left and continuously right or not. I'm only saying that float is been applied or not. That's it.
Okay, what I'm trying to ask is block 1, if you put float left, block 2, float right, again, block 3, float left.
Okay, so I say float left. These
right.
guys float right. I say these guys float left. Okay, now if you say this guy, same thing, right? That is what I'm mentioning. Irrelevant whether you are saying left, right, right, left, nothing like that. I'm saying that whether the float property been applied to the continuous DOM elements or not, as simple as it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sir,
The part what you, yes.
sir, block one go to middle. Exactly, no middle not and left not. One some place are
Make it to the center of the page, right?
Yes, sir.
Using floating property, only you can make it to the left and right. We are going step by step, Prasad. So right now we haven't yet covered the topic. There is an option, we can make the page element to only center vertically, only center horizontally, or only center both horizontal and vertical. We can do that, but we haven't yet covered. But using float, that cannot be achieved. Okay.
Sir,
if
why
you
the
want,
why the blocks in
Elements
same
on the right
direction?
side. If you
Why
want
the
all the
block-
elements to
where
the
the
right
blocks are in
side,
direction? Blocks are not in same direction, right? 1 and 2 are in the left direction, right? Block 2 is right direction, right? Where you feel that it is same direction. Okay, next.
so if you
Sir,
want all the elements
can
on the right side,
Any other
so
we
if you
can
use float to the block, then if you use second float right on the second block, it will appear in the single line. But we want all the things on the right side in a step down manner. So
On the right side, step down manner. That's a good question. We'll come to that. I will come to that. Okay, we can achieve that. That's a very good question. What he's saying is, I want all of them on the right side. Okay, now I make it something called as right. Now these guy, I make it to the right. Okay, now if you come back here, reload the page, everything in the same line. But what is his question is, I want all of them to the right side, but they all should be in an individual line. Now what I need to do, guys, very simply, very, very simple answer. If I break the chain in between, I already said you, if there are continuous element, then only the problem is there. If I break the chain in between, if they are not continuous DOM elements, in between I have other guy who is not a float property, is the chain is getting broken or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Broken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me finish this discussion, then I will show that part also. For example, I'm saying these guy as not left or right, the block 1, block 2 is right side, and this guy is also on the right side, or this guy is on the left side. Now I go for another block. Say something called as block 4, where the dot block 4 having the background as light king. I don't know how it looks, but yes. So I say comma block 4. Okay, save this guy, come back here. Okay, what is the expected answer, guys? Block 1 is not having anything. Does it comes on the left side or the right side?
Left side.
On the left top. Okay.
Default
Block
position left side.
Fine. Block 2 and block 3, they come under the same line or new lines?
Same line.
Same line, sir.
Line, because those are connected to each other element and both have been changed with the direction. Okay. Block 4, same line with
New
the block.
line.
New line.
New
new
line.
lines.
New line.
Save this guy, come back here, reload the page. This is where the confusion part you might be having. Why this is light cane is not coming? There is
Sir,
this
you
block.
give class name is back.
Class name same.
Sir, you give class name same, sir. Block 3, block 3.
It has block 4. Now if you come back and reload the page.
Sir, you didn't mention class name, sir.
Okay, fine.
For
Now
black
it is-
4. For
I
black 4. You didn't mention class name. For black 4, sir. Downside, downside. Downside, sir. Downside style. Body. In body. Okay. There.
mentioned,
Class
right?
is equals. No, sir. Class.
Line number, please.
Okay. Sir. Yeah. Is this?
Yeah, done. Okay. Yeah. So coming to this, if you see here, for example, for the block 4, I say something called as width of 160 pixel. I mean, if you see here, you cannot see the background of the block 4, but only content is coming. Okay. Why the reason? Let us say, for example, width is some 160 pixel like this. Now, if you save this guy, now if you reload the page, now you understood what is happening with the block 4. It is actually coming, but at the background of the existing block 3. Why, boss? Why it is behaving something like that? The problem is, even though the block 4 is not a floating element, but what it defaultly does is it will try to follow the previous element direction. Okay, so that is what I said, right? Say, for example, there is a line before the ATM. 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 people are standing straight. Now, third, fourth guy is changing its direction. Now, when the fifth guy is coming, in actually he has to sit straight. But what he is doing, he is following the previous element direction. So whenever you say floating property, the problem what you have with the floating property is the elements who is falling under me or the next to me, whether they have used the float property or not, they will try to change their default rendering direction. Now, what I need to tell to my block 4 guy, boss, please don't change your own direction. You follow the default rendering direction. You don't follow the previous element direction. That is where you have a CSS property, something called as clear. If your previous element is left, then you say clear left. If your previous element is right, you say clear right. Instead of this, if I say clear both, it will both left and right direction. I will be following with my own rendering direction, as simple as it is. Whenever I say clear property, clear is a CSS property which takes 3 values, either left or right or both. Left indicates if my previous element is following the left direction, I am telling to myself that don't follow the left direction, you follow your own default. If my previous element is right, I'm telling to myself to not to follow the previous element right direction, you render here. So every time, like changing between left and right, make a habit of putting clear both every time. So it doesn't matter whether it is left or right, you clear it out. You follow your own default rendering order. Now, if you save this guy, come back here, reload the page. Now the block 4 is not at all following the previous element direction. I am following in my own direction here. This is what your float property with the combination of clear property. This is a very, very, very good interview question. People will ask you, what is the relation between the float property and the clear property? So the straightforward answer is float property is changing the default rendering direction. But when you say a normal element, which is not a float element, if it is following the floating element, it will also mistakenly changing its direction. To tell the element to not to follow the previous element direction, you simply say clear both property. Am I clear?
Sir, after writing the clear property, if we ask it to follow any direction, again we'll face the same problem, right?
Yes. If you remove the clear property, the problem is going to be the same. Okay. And another thing, say someone said that, say, for example, this guy is float right. Okay. This guy is something called as a float right. Save this guy, come back here and reload the page. See, all of them are coming into the right side direction, into the same line. But now for the block 2, I will say that clear both. Now, if you come back and reload the page, am I not falling into the new line? Actually, continuous floating element fall under the same line. Now, what I'm telling to that element, don't follow the previous element direction. So it is feeling like there is no previous element. I will fall. Okay, I'm float right. I'm getting into the right direction. Now, the third guy, I say that, you say clear both. Save this guy, come back here. I'm feeling that I don't have any other element. I'm falling into the same line. This is how you can achieve all the elements to the right side direction or to the left side. I want the block 2 on the left side. Then what I will say? I will simply remove the float property. That's it. Because by default, anyway, it will fall under the left side direction. Now, if you come back and the blue guy is coming. But if you ask me a question, can I remove the clear property for the block 2 guy? Can I remove the block 2 property for the block 2
No,
guy?
sir. If you remove
No,
it,
sir.
No, sir.
It will
and
go
then
to block 1.
You are not talking, please into mute. Unnecessarily disturbance is coming, guys. Please take care. Okay, so because if I remove the clear both property, this guy will try to follow the block 1 direction. There the problem is going to come. That is the reason clear both should be there, but it has to be something like this. So someone asked this question, like how to move all the elements to the right side. This is how you can do. So clear is the property. In fact, here, I know that my previous element is right side. I can simply say clear right also. But instead of you switching between the left and right, I recommend every time make a habit of using the both property. So it will check for that. If it is left or right, it will clear it out. It will come into the direction. So this is what your CSS floating property means. Anytime you want to break the direction, go for the clear property. If you don't want to break it, let it go. Now I say, for example, this guy, I'm not using the clear both property. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not using the clear both property, but still I will be falling under the right side only. Why so? My previous element is not float property. If my previous element is float property, then I will try to follow the previous element direction. Now, if you say, I say float right. Now, if you come back, reload the page. See here, these are coming into the same line. Why so? My previous element, I'm trying to follow the block 3 is trying to follow the, I see that, okay, block 2, same order, block 3, same order. I'll try to follow the same. Okay.
Sir, could you please repeat about the block 4, sir? How it is the overlap? Small confusion.
What block 4 does is, actually there is a abnormal job going to happen. The container will go to the background of the previous element and the content will be falling under the next line. So there is abnormal activity which is going to happen. So it try to follow, the container will try to follow the previous element direction, whereas the content will follow its own content, own normal way. That is the reason, if you see block 4 was coming at the back, the next line, but its background was not there. Why so? Background was following the previous element. So that is what the abnormal activity happens when you go with the float property, or if you don't use the clear property.
So if the block 1 is on the right side and we clear the both float, so it automatically by default it will go to
the
left
next
side,
one.
no sir? Like it clear. Hello.
Yeah, what was the question? Could you repeat again?
If the block 1 is on the right side and if the block 2 we clear all the float both, okay, if we clear both, then it by default it will go on the left side, no sir? Like a new, like, because
okay, it is when I say clear both, I have to fall under the left. When I have to left, if you don't specify the floating property, I'm coming into the left only. But on the top, you are mentioning to float right? When I say clear, I'm not telling about my own direction. I'm saying that not to follow the previous element. Clear is used to previous element direction. You clear it out. Okay, I'm clearing out. I'm not following them. Now, what is my direction? Float right. That is the reason I'm going into the right direction. If you don't have right, I will fall under the same left one. Got it?
Sir, where we will use this in real time, sir?
Real time. This is so clear, right? For example, I asked you, there are 2 images which need to be on the left side. At the right side of that guy, I need to show the details. Okay, let's go with the simple assignment on the top. You yourself will tell you where actually it has to be used. I want to show some student details, guys. This is assignment 2 for yours. For example, this is the container. And this is how I have the details block. Okay, so here I would like to create a simple box here. Okay, on the top, now I would like to create a image. Now I say some name, Mr. Raj, age, say some 20, gender, say some male, location. Okay, something like this. So in between, if I put some image like this, something like this. Okay. Now let me have a copy of this guy. Like this. Now you tell me, how do you show these type of page? I would like to create this type of page where I will call these guy as some employee or student details. Okay, with some underline, I would like to put You know how do you put an underline, text decoration. Okay. Now you tell me, how do you do this? If you ask me a question that in the real time. So how do you do this? I want an image on the right side. I would like to have the details. Obviously,
float left, sir.
that's it. This is where it is useful, right? I create an image container. I create a details container. Details should be the left side of the image container. Then only it will be on the left side, right side. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Thank you.
Got it? Yeah. Next. Any more questions, guys? Hope you understood this.
Yes, sir.
Sir, but in this example, it is slightly towards the right. No, it's not totally right. So when we are using float right, it is totally going towards the right here.
Make it
So-
float left, right? Make the both the elements as float left. They will be next to each other.
Okay, we can use clear both and then we can use float left.
No. If you say clear both, but that will come down. I don't want to use the clear both. Make the image guy float left, details guy float left. Done.
Okay. Okay.
So
please explain once clear both and clear right.
One second, Rajesh. Okay, let me save these guys. I'm saving this assignment into the same folder of ours. Hope everybody is clear with the Git and you guys are getting the updates, right? 8 p.m. I'm say October 4th. I say this is assignment. What is the count?
2.
Okay. Based on this, let me give the third assignment also. After that, I'll come up with the example. I say assignment 3. Save this guy. Okay, let us say I have a container like this. I have a container. It's very good to see, guys. I have got the response from all the other maximum of the students have responded. If haven't done, please try to respond back with the assignments and hope you are already getting the response from my side also. I have already replied back to all the assignments, whatever you have sent. Okay, so a lot of times it is the coding indentation which is missing, guys. I mean, if you have a question on what actually coding indent, what does this mean? Okay, so the question on the coding indentation is nothing, guys. If you see, when I say something like this, so this is not intended. So coding indentation means maintaining the enough space between the elements or while defining the CSS, etc. So that is what we call it as coding indentation. So now if you see, like when I'm saying a class, when I'm saying a tag, when I'm saying a children, I'm maintaining a tab space, then I'm actually going for next things. Okay. So this is how you actually maintain the parent-child relationship. It is so easy for you to understand the things. Whenever I'm putting a class name, CSS property, colon, what is the value, space I'm providing. So this is a syntactical rule, not the syntactical rule, actually coding guideline rule. Now, if you ask me a question, what if I don't give space? Is it throwing me an error? No, it works, but it is recommended to put. Okay, no need of extra spaces. Okay, so these are the coding indentation rules. Make sure you follow it while you are developing the pages. Okay, so now what I say is I would like to create a simple box here. Yeah, I want you to create these type of boxes, guys. It's very simple one. Just, and one more thing is try to add the numbering inside it. So let me call this as login. Under that, I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, following with 4, 5, and 6. Okay, like this you can actually go. Like this underline has come. Okay, so this is what the third assignment I wanted, guys. So can you tell me using what property you can achieve this? And all the blocks should have the different backgrounds. Yeah, can you tell me?
Using float
Clear
and clear
and
property.
float.
Obviously, clear property and clear property will be used in order to achieve this. Okay. So any more questions? Guys, when we are discussing here, I don't want anyone to, why the other discussions are happening in the chat. Please don't do that. Don't make me to remove you guys to send the message to everyone. Yeah, please go ahead. Someone asking the question.
Please repeat clear properties.
Okay, clear both property. Whenever you say something called as clear property, what happens is it will try to, I mean, if you don't mention the clear property, if you use the floating property, the elements will try to follow, even though, say, for example, one element has got float property, right or left, whatever it is. The next element's container will try to follow the previous element direction, even though you haven't mentioned. Now, I need to tell the elements to not to change the direction until and unless you are being forcefully asked. So to tell the element to not to follow the previous element direction, you use the clear both property. I mean, clear left or clear right. If my previous element is left, you say clear left. If my previous element is right, you say clear right. But if you say clear both, you don't need to bother every time switching between the left and right. Am I clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So the next part, what I mean, hope everybody is so clear. I know it's a bit of confusion, guys, but try to implement try to do as much practice as you can, then it will be more clear. So Hemant, you have a question. Assignment padding and margin is not explained. Hemant, I mean, right now we haven't used it, right? Maybe for the previous assignment, I have added some space. I know, I mean, maybe tomorrow's class, I'll be talking about the box model. Then I'll be talking about the padding and margin. Maybe then after that, you can actually try to solve the second assignment. But at least for assignment 3, you don't need to have the padding and margin. You can make use of it. Okay? Yeah.
Hello,
so
sir.
the next, yes.
I did not get how did one block come over the other one, sir? How is that possible?
I didn't get you, Nikhil. What was that?
Somehow before you put the block 4 over block 3, right? So how is, sorry, below block 3, how is that possible?
That is what I said, Nikhil. I mean, one is that is abnormal behavior. Another reason, another part is content will follow its own order. Container will try to fall into the same line as like the float property. The previous float property, whatever the line it is.
Sir, will the color of the block 3 which is under the block 2 will be appeared? I mean, like if the block 2 has a different color and there's one color given to the block 2.
But one second. So it will be appeared. The container itself will be appeared. Why it was not appearing in our case? Both are having the same width and height. So it is exactly going at the background of it. That is the reason you cannot see that. So that is the reason anytime you use the floating property, simply try to, I mean, don't ever forget to make use of the clear property. As simple as it is. Otherwise, a lot of look and feel will be broken. Okay. So let us talk something called as relative path and absolute path, guys. Okay, it's a very simple path, but a lot of people have a confusion here. So let me talk about this. I will say October 4th. Let me say a new folder. I say something called as some project. Example. Under that, I say something called as path demo.html. I'm simply creating a HTML tag. Okay. Now I say some div tag. Under that, I go for some image tag, src. Let me copy some images. I want to get some image here. Say some hearts. Okay, say something like this. Let's have a copy of this. Open image in new tab. Okay, let me save this guy. I want to save this image. Go into the E drive. Get UI classes, 8 p.m. October 4th, project, new folder, images. I say car.png. Okay, something like this. Now, in order to make use of this car image into your web page, what I can say, first of all, I need to get the path of the car. How do I get it? One simple way is go to the desktop. I say it's October 4th. Go to the project. Under the images, you have this car. Drag it and drop it on the browser. You will get the image path completely. Copy this guy and paste it off here. I say image source equal to so and so. This is how I have. Simple.
So by giving right click, we get the image path. So.
But where? No. Here on the top, I'm getting right here. Right click, I can say copy image address. That is also one way. But anyway, first of all, you're going to drag it. So that way you can actually get the complete path of this. Now, if you open this guy inside the browser, I will say trading absolute and relative path. Okay, save this guy, come back here. This is how the image is coming. Super fine. Assume this project you are giving to me. Boss, can you please review my project? Have a look on this project. You know what is going to happen when you share this October 4 folder into me? What I will do, I will copy this project into some separate folder, isn't it? I will copy somewhere else. I'm copying this. Now, when I open this guy, when I open this project, I open the path demo. Okay, it is working. Why so? Because it is in my machine only, right? You know, but for example, when I copy it and when I paste it in, generally it will get failed. Why so? You guys are hard coding the path saying that E drive get UI classes back so and so, so and so. But do you think that every time you'll use the or else? Let me say, I'll go with the project, right? Say, for example, you gave me this and October 4th, I'm removing this project. Now I took the project, okay, I'm placing somewhere else, okay. Now when I'm opening this guy, why the image is not coming, boss? If you right click on the image, open image in a new tab, why the image is expecting, you have added the code in such a way that every time you access the image from E drive, Git UI classes, etc. Why should I create a E drive? Why should I go to E drive? Why should I create a Git folder UI classes? You have followed your folder structure. It's fine. But when I'm coming into my local vision, I can place it into any of the folder or anywhere I can place it, right? Now, what you need to do here, you know that for sure, whenever I'm copying the HTML, along with that images folder also will come. Now you need to, when I'm running this path demo, you need to tell the system to pick up the images folder relative to the file where HTML is being accessed from. So how I'm going to do now? I don't say this all complete path. I will say car.png. Now, if you save this, I'm not specifying any of the path here. Come on. Let me take out this project. I kept it deep into the October 4. Now I go to this path demo. Okay. Now what I'm saying is you're not going to give any of the path. You say car.png. As simple. But the car.png is from what folder? Images folder. You haven't specified which folder it is coming from, domain, etc. You're not at all specifying. Now, if you save this guy and reload the page. This page. Now, when I'm reloading the page, is the car is coming? Super fine. Okay. Now you said that was this is the folder. Now what I will do is I will take out this project folder and I'm putting in a different location. From there, I'm trying to run this. Is it coming, boss? Yes. Why so? Use given the relative path here. This is called as the relative path. Earlier, it was absolute path from head to tail, from domain, etc. Every other thing you are mentioning over there. But here, what I'm doing, I'm giving a relative path relative to my current web page. So you know what actually happens? It will see where the web page is running from: E drive, Git folder, UI classes, so and so, until the file name. File name is path demo. I will remove this. So from here, I will try to give that images car.png. That is where I'm getting the image. So that is how it will be automatically picking up the previous path from the current folder location where it is being from. Am I clear? Difference between absolute path and relative path? When I say absolute path, complete path will be coming. Now, can you tell me this path is absolute path or relative path?
Absolute.
Absolute path.
Everyone. Right? Okay. Let me say, oh, I have closed this. Guys, just give me a second. My battery is down with my system. 1 second, I'm getting it started. Okay, am I audible back and you could see my screen here, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So hope everybody understood. This is what we need to understand when you use any of the path. And this path, if you're not talking, why you're an unmute? Okay, so this is not only for the images, guys. In future, we are going to make use of the resources like external CSS file, external JS file. So anywhere you are using any of the resource, while specifying the path, either you can make it as a relative path or an absolute path. Okay, so it is recommended you go with the relative path every time if the resource is a local resource. Now I say I have one of the image which is coming from outside. Okay, I say some cars, images, open image in new tab. This is a base 64 image. Okay, now this is the image what I have. Okay, can you tell me whether it is a if I have at all, I'm using, is it for everyone? Am I not audible, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir, you're clear.
Audible, ma'am. Can you please check from your side also once? Okay, so I'm putting this image here. Now you tell me the second image what I'm putting, relative path or absolute path?
Absolute path.
I'm completely specifying the domain, the complete location I'm going to specify. Now, can you tell me, can I this path as relative? Can I
sir.
make this path
Yes,
relative?
sir, by saving.
Yes, sir, by saving.
By saving it in,
Come on, how I can make it as relative? Can it
By
without
saving in a folder.
by
typing it?
saving it into local folder, sir.
What if I don't want to download it? Still, is it possible to say it as a relative path?
Yes, sir, from
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. Without saving the image to the local.
Yes, sir. Delete it. Sir, delete this name till something 719 like that. Last.
By giving file extension.
Okay. If I put something like this, is it possible, what?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Because when I do the path
It's
here,
not possible, sir.
Sir, by giving file extension, we can.
Not possible.
how the file extension will work. Even if I give the extension also, it doesn't work, right? Until and unless the resource is a local resource of your current server, you cannot access or you cannot make the resource to be accessible through the relative path. It should be for sure absolute path. Okay, so make sure everybody is clear on it. Only for the absolute path, you could able to, I mean, if it is an external resource, if the things are not coming from your local machine, make it as a absolute path. If it is your local server or from a server where your resources are being hosted, go with the relative path. Okay. So whenever you are submitting my second assignment with the images, right? When you are having some student image, etc. and all. So if you have a local images, so try to submit the images also into the Git and put the relative path. Don't put the absolute path. Okay. So hope everybody is so clear till here.
Sir, it should be a folder or only car.png is okay, sir.
Any image, doesn't matter whether it is in .png, .jpeg or .js.
No, sir. No, sir. It should be in images folder or we can do only
Any folder.
car.png.
It can be in any folder. I can create a ABC folder. There also I can put it. But it is recommended to put inside a images folder so that people can understand that, okay, it is from the images. It is an image. Okay.
Folder is mandatory means.
Folder is all not mandatory, recommended. I don't need to put in a folder also. I can directly put an image file in outside. Let me create one folder structure, which we already have. Say, for example, if I go to the E drive, there is a folder called as Y classes online shopping application. Do you see, is it not so clear for you that CSS folder is having only the CSS files? Open this. I have all the CSS files. If I go with JS files, I have all the JavaScript files. So it was so easy for me to understand the things, isn't it? So that is, it is recommended. Now when I go for uploads, uploads is the, here I'm not using, uploads is actually having the images, but I'm not using anything called as the images folder. It's up to you, you can put it. But if I put as an images, that will be more readable for you. So that is the reason recommended to put the resources into the specific folder, because in future, when we create these type of bigger application, you have hundreds of CSS files, hundreds of JS files, hundreds of images. You don't want to mix and match with them. So better create a separate folders for every other guy. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so fine, guys. So let's stop for today the discussion what we have. Okay. So if
hello, sir.
Sign off, but I think some of
Hello, sir.
Guys, 1 second. So if anyone some questions, you can
Sir, can you give me access of on a GitHub? I ping will be ping a message on a Telegram.
Yeah, just
Telegram group.
So that's what, guys, we are done. Have any questions? It's a good time.
Sir, you were going to explain about server something.
I was about to, but I think today we won't be having enough time. I will be needed minimum 1 hour of time that I'll be discussing in the morning.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I will be ping on a message on Telegram.
Okay, sorry. Let me check that. May I know your good name?
Pankaj Erme.
Can you please in the Telegram once again directly to me? I think when Anisha Mahopatra he has sent to me. That is what I.
Sir, I pinned a message.
Can you ping me directly instead of group chat, please?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I'm new to this batch.
Yeah. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Hello,
Right.
sir.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I am. So I'm new to this batch. Is there any chance I can access the file? Can you add me on the Git? I'm not able to access the file. I think I
Okay.
messaged you on the Telegram before.
So your good name?
Gagan.
So are you already got registered?
Yeah, you sent me the link of joining it. I think yeah, I'm already registered.
You already got registered. Okay. I already gave you the invitation also.
Yes, I just messaged you on the Telegram if you can see.
Okay, super fine. Now, do I have anyone who can help him in setting up the local machine? Anyone from our class?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Awesome. I may know who is that. I expected this Robinson. You are always in the first line to help others. Very good. So can you please connect with Robinson? I mean, whoever have asked this question. So Robinson is already part of our Telegram group. So ping him. So he will be helping you. If not, if it is not still working, then I'll be coming into the picture. Is okay?
I'm not in the Telegram group as well.
Okay. So in that case, first of all, the first requirement is you need to talk to Mr. Ramesh. Guys, can anyone please share the Ramesh contact details here? So there is Ramesh who actually helps, who works as an admin for us, who will be helping us in all the second things. So please ping him, ask him that to add you to the Telegram group of 8 p.m. batch. Then I will go with the other things. Is that fine?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. There is someone who actually messaged me, Anisha Mahopatra. For you, I have already given you the GitHub access. You can have a check on that. Next, any other questions?
Sir?
Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, sir, when I'm installing Angular, I'm getting this problem. NG is not recognizable as internal or external command.
Come on, Deepika. You're asking the Angular questions over here itself. Okay,
Only
fine.
this find out, sir.
Okay, fine. So have you installed the Angular CLI?
Yeah, actually, I've installed, sir. Today, the problem is resolved when I have done it in the D drive. But when I'm doing in the C drive, it is showing this problem. Why? I just wanted to know this.
Okay, the thing is, if you go into the environmental variables for
Yeah.
Angular CLI,
Okay.
you need to set up the path.
Okay.
Like if you have an idea of Java, like when you
Yeah.
say Java C, until unless you don't set up the environmental path, it will be only working on the particular directory. It won't work throughout the network. The same thing happens over here.
Okay.
Okay. Beyond that, if you have a question, you can ping me back.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, Prashant.
Sir, you said you will be help me while setting a desktop, GitHub desktops. I am unable to connect to cloning with your GitHub.
Okay. Have you got the access already, Prashant?